Welcome to Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, back again with another episode, y'all. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about something that's pretty common in prison. At least it was back in the day. It still happens from time to time, and that is inmate-staff relationships. One of my brothers, this story is like 21 years old. One of my brothers got caught having sex with a worker at the prison. Actually, she was a kitchen steward, and that is somebody that works in the kitchen on a daily basis. But they got caught by a Crip. So I'm going to share that story with you. I hope that you enjoy it and find the lesson in it. It's one of those it's going to shock you when you hear how this story plays out. This is an old story. It happened it was 2001, 2002, actually about 2002, when I was at another prison. I'm not going to name it for obvious reasons. But one of my brothers, I was still in rotation back then. I had the compound. Y'all know what it is when I say I was in rotation. I was still repping, and I was in charge, as always. So anyway, I was at this other prison, and one of my brothers had come up with a kitchen steward. The kitchen steward is a worker that works for TDOC, but they work in the kitchen. They're not security or anything like that. They work in the chow hall where they help prepare the meals, make sure the meals get served to the guys, and so on and so forth, right? She had been working there shortly, I think maybe about a year or so. I really didn't know. I never met her because I didn't go to chow much. But when I did go, her job was in the back. So I think I might have seen her once or twice. I don't even know. I didn't know much about her. Let's put it that way, right? So bro comes to me. He tells me he had come up, right? And the way he came up with her was that, he worked hard. He was one of those guys, he had, that flair to talk to women. And she was impressed by him. And he would go to work all the time. And I would hardly see him except for at night after 6 o'clock when he would come to the gym or whatever. We lived in the same unit, by the way. But he would come to the gym and let me know how his day went and so on and so forth. Always talking about it. He was crazy about it, And so they were involved for a few months. And then he started to have sex with her. And I'm like, wow, okay then, what you got going on? You know what I mean? Because I thought this was about money. Most of the times when you come up with a move like that or somebody like that, it's about them bringing the pack in or something like that. But he was developing real feelings for her. And it was obvious. It was obvious. He wanted to stay at work as long as he could every day. He went to work 7 days a week. You know what I'm saying? And early in the morning at that, he'd go in at 3, 4 in the morning and wouldn't get off until 6 o'clock that afternoon. Nobody suspected a thing, right? Nobody suspected a thing, or so we thought. So he told me how he was knocking her down, right? He started, when he went in early in the morning, they would go into the staff restroom, her restroom that was specific for the people that worked there, and the women, they had their own restroom, private and separate from the men that worked there. They didn't it wasn't a unisex type situation. So he would go in there and hide out, and then she would come in, and then they would do what they do, right? And they thought that it was secure like that, right? But what they found out was that they had been spied on by this Crip dude. This Crip dude, he was an old head, right? So he didn't miss much of anything. He had just recently had been transferred from another prison for inciting a riot. And he had one of those reputations that he was a hard hitter, but he was kind of sick too, y'all. This type of dude here, the stories that preceded him, we knew he was coming to the compound, but the stories that preceded him was just out of this world, right? He was one of those dudes, and I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but it's certain dudes in the penitentiary that like to take another man's manhood, not necessarily by raping him sexually in that way, but he was known for keeping discipline within the ranks of the people that followed him, and plus anybody that opposed him. If he knocked you out or knocked you down, he would take his thumb and stick it up in your ass. He was known for that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, they avoided conflict with him just because they didn't want to find themselves in a situation where that might happen. And not to mention that he could fight. He was really good at fighting, you know. So anyway, one particular morning when Bro thought that he was secure in, you know, getting some from his gal that morning, what he didn't realize is that this Crip dude had peeped the move. So he had actually snuck into the restroom before Bro did, and he was already in there. So when Bro snuck in there, like I said, he thought he was in there by himself, but he wasn't. The Crip dude was already in there chilling, watching him. He had a good, you know, vantage point, right? So that he could see everything. And then when she came in, her and Bro, you know, they went into the stall that they normally go in, and this story came to me from Bro. They went into the stall that they normally go in, right? And doing the do. He over there knocking her down, you know what I'm saying? And but this Crip dude, he's watching. He's looking through the stalls. I don't know if they have the same type of stalls on the street, but the stalls is, you know, on each side you can see a little bit if you look underneath, or the wall of it doesn't connect all the way, so you can look through that and you can see, you know, with one eye what's really going on. So the Crip dude, he's watching them. He's watching them. And the thing about it is this, the way Bro described it to me, you know, he's hitting her from the back, so she's facing out. Bro is all in his own world because he said he didn't see him, but she did. And when she saw him, she didn't say anything. She's staring at him, but she's got this look on her face of fear. But that turned the Crip dude on. So he pulled out his junk and he started masturbating. You know what I'm saying? Because he's seeing her get knocked down by Bro, but she's looking at him, but she's not saying anything. And he read that to say that she, you know, was interested in him. This is how this dude's mind worked. So he masturbating. When Bro finished, you know, him and Gal, they kiss, they do that thing. She rushes out of there, but Bro was like, dang, that was weird, because she had never rushed up out of there in the way that she did that day. So he followed behind her, you know, because he thought something was wrong. Maybe she had heard something or whatever the case may be, but didn't say anything to him, and she was trying to make sure that she was safe. So he rushed behind her, went out, and asked her what was wrong. Was anything wrong? She said, somebody's in there. And he was like, ain't nobody in there. I went in there this morning. She said, somebody is in there, and he was watching us. And she said, she told him he was masturbating while we were over there doing our thing. So now Bro goes back into the restroom because nobody had come out. So when he goes into the restroom, he run into Cuz. Cuz is in there washing up. So now he's like, man, what's going on with you? Now don't forget, like I told you, Cuz can fight. So folks was like, man, what you got going on, man? Because, you know, this is a young brother. Folks, a young brother, he don't care nothing about no reputation or nothing. He's always out to prove, and he got them hands too, y'all. So he was like, look here, man, I don't know what you got going on. I don't know what you got going on, but I don't need you messing up nothing for me, right? So Cuz told him, he said, look here, I ain't trying to mess up nothing. I'm just trying to get in. He said, man, there ain't no room for you. There ain't no room for you. I don't do no sharing. So Cuz told him, you going to share or I'm going to tell it. Simple as that, right? Now, keep in mind, this is an OG. This is somebody that's been doing this way longer than folks. And he putting the pressure on him by telling them, look, you going to give me what I want or I'm going to tell on you. It don't make me no difference. So folks back down. Worst thing he could have done. He said, man, what you want? And he told him, he said, man, I want to hit too. He said, man, that ain't going to happen. So Cuz, he already know he got him because he would have never asked him that, what you want. So Cuz mob up out of there, then folks leave up out of there. Folks go straight to the gal and he's telling her what's going on, right? He's telling her what Cuz had just said to him. Guess what she say? Don't look like we got a choice. So folks all messed up in the head because he really care about her. He got feelings for her. But then when he hears her say that, he sees her in a different way. But what he don't understand, what folks didn't understand, she's trying to make sure she don't get fired. She's feeling trapped. She has to do something. She couldn't think of anything else to do. So guess what happened? She let him hit. The next morning, instead of bruh going into the restroom with her, cuz goes into the restroom with her first. Knock her down. Folks so messed up in the head, he's standing on the door outside the restroom. He hears her in her moaning and groaning. Messes him up. He can't even see straight because he's expecting that to be reserved for him. Hearing her moan for another dude is messing him all the way up. So now cuz come up out of there. Folks go in there. She trying to console him, but she's the one's the victim. But folks ain't hearing that he all in his feelings. But again, don't forget it. I told you he's a young brother. And I understand where he's coming from, but what he wasn't understanding is where she was coming from. So she's telling him, until we figure out something to do, I don't have a choice. I don't want to lose my job. Oh, and let me put you up on this. She's got 2 kids. She can't afford to lose the job. She cannot afford to lose this job. So folks go along with it, you know what I'm saying? He tell her he don't like it. He mobs on up out of her. He don't even want to touch her at this point. He mobs on up out of there. She come up out of there. They work together the whole day, hardly talking to each other. Cuz is watching from a distance. He's laughing at the whole thing because he's plotting to take her from him because bruh is in his feelings. So he gonna make the power move. So he pull up on bruh. He said, look, man, we might well go on and get some work. See, the manipulation part in that was the we. We might as well go on and get some work. He want to see if bruh go for it. And again, he does. He said, what you want to do? He said, man, I got the plug. He said, I'm going to just send her by one of my brother's houses and then let her get it. Then she bring it on in and we chop it down the middle. 50-50. She do that. What brother didn't realize is when she went over to his brother's in them house, right, they getting at her. They getting at her. They flashing the money, all of this and that. You know, she's feeling uncomfortable about it, but at the same time, she's seeing what it is. She take the pack, take a little money to give to cuz. That wasn't part of the deal. They did that just to try her, just to see if she'll deviate from the plan and betray folks. You feel what I'm saying? She's telling them everything, but let's see if she tells them about that money. And sure enough, when she gets back to the prison, she don't tell folks that she bought some money in for cuz. They knew then that they had her. So cuz bumped down on her and tell her, look, you need to break it off with him. Now, she has some feelings for folks too. So she tell folks, look, he telling me that I can't see you no more. So folks come to me. This is when I get all of it. This is when he comes to me. And he said, man, I got to see him. And don't get me wrong. I ain't never ran from a fight or none of that. But now I'm sitting here thinking, first of all, this ain't GD business. This is a personal matter. And folks, he's all in his feelings. He can't handle it. But if he go at this Crip, then it's going to be war. And I ain't willing to go to war about no piece of pussy. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So I take it to my number 2. I tell him what's going on. And he was like, look, man, we can't leave bro out in the cold like that. So now he goes to get my chief of security. Now both of them is talking me down. I'm sitting here looking silly because I'm saying to myself, I don't understand what y'all see. It don't matter to me about what's going on with folks. If we allow this to happen, we are not going to let bro lose. We're not going to let bro lose because it's always about the example that you set for the compound. We finna smash on this fool. And when we smash on this fool, keeping in mind he's an OG, he got people behind him, and now we finna go to war about a female. And I wasn't willing to do that. But folks in them, they seeing something else. I don't care nothing about getting no pack in. I already got packs coming. I don't care nothing about none of that. But they do. So I backed down. I said, I'll tell you what. I said, go get little bro. Little bro come in now. And I asked him, I said, hey, bro, you know about dude reputation, right? He was like, yeah, I heard he got hands and all this and that and that and that. Look, the door is going to be locked. when y'all go in there. We're going to pat him down, they're going to pat you down. It's just going to be you and him in there. Hand to hand, man to man. And I said, this dude can fight. I said, do you think you can whoop him? He said, man, I'm finna do him, man. I said, okay. I said, don't go in there with your feelings, man. I said, but keep in mind, man, don't let this dude knock you down. Because if he knocks you out, man, and we can't get in there and he violates you, man, we're going to have to do him, man, because we ain't finna have that. And then we got to go to war. So what happens is that he goes into the room. They lock the room. While they got the room locked, and they're in there fighting, they're getting at it. They going at it. They getting down, right? Well, so to my surprise, folks knocks him down. He don't knock him out. He knocks him down. Because he's struggling, he trying to get up. Folks own him, though. He own him. Got on top of him. He pinned him down. He working him, man. While he's working him, oh, I start to see blood. I lean back. I get off the door. And at the end of the day, when Brud knocking him down, got him down on the floor, beating him like he was, now I'm seeing, okay, little folks can handle himself. So we outside the cell, and everybody else was still watching what was going on. I'm not worried anymore because little folks can handle his business. So when the fight was over, little folks tell him, look here, man, all that stuff you was talking, all that involvement that you had with my guy, that's over with. So cuz being older like he was, he respected the business. And he said, that's what's up. I'm going to back down, man. You got that. If it was that easy, though, right? I thought it was over with, but it really wasn't. It wasn't over with at all. So, long story short, cuz stepped back on the scene. He said, look here, man, I want my lick back. He said, I want my lick back. If I don't get my lick back, I'm going to go to the captain and tell the captain what y'all got going on, right? So now I tell folks in them, I said, look, now you're going to have to go in there and fight him again. So, see, I got all the confidence in the world now in folks because I done seen him whoop dude. So I'm thinking, he going to go whoop him again. I'm cool with everything that he just did because I know he just whooped him once before. Little folks are a little overcocky. He go tell Gal what's going on and all this and that. And at the same time, she's spooked. She's understanding, what I'm saying? She ain't got to mess with dude no more and all of these other things, right? But she's still worried that, this ain't going to end the same way it did the first time, right? Because now cuz know that folks got hands, so he might go at him a little different now. So they go in the room, they getting him up again. And just what I thought was going to happen. He hit folks with an uppercut, and I'm telling you, man, look, I saw his eyes roll in the back of his head. He was gone. Before he hit the ground, he was gone. Then cuz looked at the window, and I hit on the window. With all my might, I hit on the window. You better not. He grabbed folks and drug him to the door. And when he drug him over to the door, he set him up beside the door. He said, I ain't going to do that. He said, the dude got my respect. He said, but Gal, I'm taking her. If y'all ain't willing to go to war, I'm taking her. He said, I know y'all ain't really willing to go to war over her. Folks laying there still knocked out. He sleep. He hit him with one lick and knocked him out. He still asleep. He popped the door, let us in. They get folks, take him to the room, throw water on him. He wake up swinging. What you swinging now for? The fight's over with, man. You've been out about 30, 40 seconds. So now I'm saying to myself, what we finna do? Are we gonna go to war about this gal, man? And I tell folks, I said, look, you need to go down to that chow hall, tell her what's going on. And you need to come back, man, and let me know, is this going to be worth us going to war? So when he came back, he told me that she said she'll do whatever it is that we want her to do as long as they get rid of dude. Y'all got to get rid of him. That's what her word is. So you know me. When money gets involved, now it's time to plot. I didn't care nothing about him having sex with her. I don't care nothing about no relationship with her. It's about the money. So what I did, I manipulated the situation because I knew that cuz in addition to wanting to put his thumb up in people's asses, I had heard that he liked boys too. So you know what I did? I get some of his brothers, I pull them to the side. I know 3 or 4 of them pretty good, and they had been there way before him. And we developed a friendship, play ball together, kick it, you know what I'm saying, break bread together whenever they needed something. I made sure to hit them up, you know what I'm saying, for the low, let them know that it's all love. So I pull them in the room. I said, man, y'all gonna keep letting somebody like Dude lead y'all, man. If y'all keep on letting somebody like Dude lead y'all, ain't nobody gonna respect y'all. And they said, what you talking about, Joe T? I said, man, Dude a boy. Y'all know it and I know. Y'all done heard the same thing I heard, but they hadn't. But I'm manipulating my words when I talk to them. I said, y'all know what it is, man. Quit acting like you don't know what's going on. They said, nah, what you done heard? I said, man, he like boys, man. He like boys. You think it's an accident he like to stick his finger up in a man's ass? What man likes to stick his finger up in another man's ass? It's got to be turning him on. He like being with boys. They get to think, man, I ain't on all that, man. I said, but you know he stick his finger up in boys' ass. You know that, right? They were like, yeah, we know that, but we ain't never heard of him fucking no boy. I said, well, I have. Lying, I'd heard it, but I ain't never known it to be true because this is the first time I'm on the compound with him. But I don't care about the truth at this point. I had heard about it. I couldn't prove it, but I don't care about the truth. I'm trying to get this money. She going to bring in that pack. We finna get this money. I just got to get rid of him without going to war. Keep in mind now, without going to war. So I tell cousin, I done riled him up. I said, man, look here. Meet on the ball field this afternoon, right? You bring yours, I bring mine, and I'm going to say it in front of him. We're going to let it do what it do. So we get down on the ball field. I'm the 9, he the OG. Mine ain't going to let nobody put their hands on me. I got 12 of them around me at all times. Number killers. I don't remember number killers and drug dealers anyway. He's standing there, he's staring me down, looking at me, because they had already told him what it is I'm going to say. And I know he's strapped. Everybody down there strapped, though. Ain't nobody scared. I said, man, you a boy. You a boy. He said, I'm going to kill you. Now, you ain't finna do nothing. Talking that old shit. What you going to do? You ain't going to do nothing. Bring your ass over here, you're going to have problems over here. Now, we don't do nothing fair. Ain't nothing fair about this. You want to fight one-on-one? Man, say that for your kids, man. You step over on this line. I let folks go in there one-on-one with you, knock your ass down. You think you tough. What I'm going to do to you ain't even nowhere near what he did to you. You knocked out a little boy. You knocked the boy out. You ain't done nothing. You blackmailing somebody that's trying to get his money. You blackmail him because you don't have no route. So you ain't taking nothing, man. Matter of fact, it just depends on what your family do right now. We going to run you off the compound or they going to run you off the compound. It don't matter to me which one, but you leaving today. I ain't going nowhere. Get what I did? I turned my back on this boy and I walked away and I said, get rid of him, man. He ain't staying on this compound. So when I started to walk back behind my folks, right, I'm walking the other way. I tell them, take care of that, man. I'm walking the other way. They walking towards him. They done surrounded Cuz now. Cuz them on our side. He don't know this, though. So Cuz them say, yeah, hey, Cuz, pack your shit, man. You gone. Pack your shit. So he like, what? It's so surprising to me how 1 minute your chest is sticking out because you think everybody's behind you. But when you realize that nobody's standing with you, the little boy come out. Because that's what happened to him. The little boy came out in it. And he got scared because now he's standing on this line by himself. Everybody's around him. Now he forgets about us. He turns to his brother. He said, man, y'all gonna do me like that? Man, they said, you know what it is. He said, we're gonna at least let you walk off the ball field. So they let him walk off the ball field. He went to the cabin shack. He checked in. That was the end of that. So now, I kept up my end of the bargain. It's time for her to keep up her end of the bargain. So when I stepped to folks, I said, what's the arrangement, man? Because now I'm back on that money. What's the arrangement? What's she bringing in, and how much is it going to cost, and where is it coming from? Because I said, I got my own plugs on the street. Now I'm going to take care of that. And I said, no, I ain't going to let you do that. I ain't going to let you take care of that. I'm going to take care of that. You take this number. I hand him the number. And I said, anytime she's going to bring in something, tell her to call that number. They already got the bomb made. All she got to do is go pick it up and bring it in. The little folks looked at me. He said, Joe T, don't be with that shit, bro. I said, bro, I don't care nothing about all the other stuff you and her got going on. Just make sure that Pat get here once a week and we good. He said, GD that, folks. I said, GD that, folks. And that was the end of it. And that's where I'm going to end this. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker. And I say peace, y'all.